Welcome to Gift of Life, the Organ Transplant podcast. These are the stories of those who have received, given, and who are waiting for the gift of life, organ transplantation. Now here's your host and heart and kidney recipient, BJ Odom.
Welcome to Gift of Life, the Organ Transplant Podcast, a place where we journey through the incredible world of organ transplantation. I'm your host, BJ Odom. Each week we uncover inspiring stories and we meet extraordinary individuals who are connected to the world of transplants. Remember to support us by leaving that 5-star review and subscribing on your preferred podcast platform. And don't forget to join us on Facebook, Gift of Life, the Organ Transplant Podcast. We have reached episode 25, and this week we meet Sophia Renner. She's the engagement manager at SODA, Student Organ Donation Advocates. SODA is a fantastic organization with chapters nationwide, spreading the message and the importance of organ and tissue donation among the youth. Sophia shared with us the incredible work being done by SODA. So let us say good morning, Sophia, and tell us just a little bit about yourself as we start out.
Sure. So I am SODA's full-time engagement manager, and my main responsibilities are to mentor our student network and also to facilitate our 31 OPO partnerships. And I originally joined SODA back in 2022 as our student engagement coordinator right after graduating from Tulane University in New Orleans, where I majored in public health and I minored in sociology. So SODA was my first full-time job post-grad. And last year around this time, I moved from New Orleans back to the San Francisco Bay Area where I'm originally from. And that's where I now work remotely alongside SODA's full-time program director, Nicole Nidia, and our other part-time staff.
All right, go Warriors.
Yes, go Warriors.
I am a big Warrior fan. Now you got me all excited. Now I'm going to have to get my mind back into the podcast here. They actually won their first 2 preseason games, so I'm pretty excited there. Big Steph fan. But let's get back to SODA. So what does SODA actually stand for?
So SODA stands for Student Organ Donation Advocates. And it was started by Sarah Royf, formerly Sarah Miller. She was recently married. And Sarah's older sister, Laura Miller, passed away very suddenly at the age of 14 from a cancerous brain tumor. And when Sarah was in college, she realized that most of her peers weren't educated about the importance of organ donation and that there wasn't a way for Sarah to advocate for donation on her campus. So that's how she decided to start the very first SODA chapter at Washington University in St. Louis. And by starting this chapter on her campus, Sarah learned firsthand how many hoops there were to jump through with her administration, with establishing a brand for your club on campus. So when she started hearing from other local students at other universities that they wanted to bring donation advocacy to their campuses as well, she decided to take SODA national and focus on reducing the barriers that students face when wanting to advocate for organ, eye, and tissue donation on campus. So since 2014, SODA has been providing supplies, funding, mentorship, and many more resources now to high school, college, and graduate school students who want to focus on educating peers about the importance of donation and also registering new donors. And at SODA, we know that peer-to-peer advocacy has an immense impact on young people because they are in school environments where they're primed to be learning new information and can have influential while still relatable conversations with other students their own age. So we are incredibly grateful for our now 90 plus hardworking chapters that have educated over 150,000 people ago about donation and registered nearly 9,500 people as donors since that original SOTA chapter that Sarah started in honor of her sister, Laura.
Wow, that is truly amazing. Now, do you find that most of the people that, get involved in the organization, do they have someone maybe they know that has had a transplant or had a transplant themselves, or is it just a lot of students who seem to care about the project?
Yeah, so I'd say there's typically two groups of students that we see come to SOTA's door. The first are, like you mentioned, students who have a personal connection to donation. They may have received a transplant themselves or be a donor family member like Sarah was. And the second group of students are those who have an interest in the medical field and are hoping to pursue a career in donation or transplantation or another medical related position. But I'd say those are the two main categories of students who typically approach us and get started with hosting events and starting chapters.
Oh, awesome. Now, let me ask you just also the students, have you had any that are, well, I think you did mention that though, are actual donor families, like brothers or sisters who have lost someone and, their family actually went forward and, donated the organs?
Yes, we do have quite a few donor family members. We have students coming to mind whose parents were either recipients or donors as well. And we have siblings, like you mentioned. We had, she just graduated from high school. Her name is Lola. She's going off to college. Probably she's just starting college, I think, as of August of this year. Her older brother, Daniel, passed away and was an organ donor. And they have an organization in Milwaukee called Daniel Gives Back. So not only does her family now run their own nonprofit, but Lola also started a SOTA chapter at Brookfield East High School. And even though she's off to college now, her chapter is still going strong. And I know she's interested in bringing SOTA to her college campus as well. So we've definitely seen donor family members be interested in SOTA and advocate in honor of their family members that they have lost.
Now, if someone out there, maybe this sounds amazing to them, they're so you said high school, college. So if anybody is interested in starting a chapter of SOTA, can they do that? And how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I mentioned, we have nearly 100 chapters now on high school, college, and graduate school campuses across the country. Those graduate schools currently are a couple of different medical schools and pharmaceutical schools as well. And we are in 31 OPO service areas and continuing to grow every week. So if a student's interested in hosting a one-time advocacy event with SOTA or committing to starting a SOTA chapter on campus, I'd highly encourage them to visit our website. It is www.sotanational.org/students. And that is where they can learn more about our 3-step application process, which consists of a short eligibility quiz, reviewing SOTA's resources, and finding a team of 3 students to help lead the SOTA chapter, and submitting our official application, which has a few short response questions. On our website, we also have over 25 different how-to guides at sotanational.org/resources. And these student guides are filled with event inspiration, tips for getting started, how to form a relationship with your local organ procurement organization. Because at SOTA, our students have support from their local OPO. We connect every student who comes through SOTA's door from the very beginning of the application process to their OPO so that they have access to donation education and local volunteer opportunities, because OPOs truly are the donation experts. And we have a few different resume building opportunities as well. We just launched a leadership development course, which focuses on building soft skills that look great on a resume and LinkedIn. So there's lots of different incentives to joining SOTA that I'd recommend students read more about on our website.
Awesome. That is building resumes and doing everything. This is pretty exciting stuff you got going, young lady. Now, as you've been a member for quite some time, what have you found most rewarding?
I'd say so. I mentioned I was a public health major in college, which is where I learned a lot about our country's healthcare system. And back when I was in college, I also interned as a campus ambassador for Gift of Life Bone Marrow Registry. Since I understand what it's like to be in our students' position, and I can relate to their experience as an emerging leader, specifically in the field of donation and transplantation. Now that I work full-time for SODA, I find it so rewarding to see the amazing advocacy events that our students are hosting. Starting off, as freshmen in high school and getting out into their communities, connecting with their peers and leading these very delicate and important conversations at such a young age, and knowing what they want to do with their lives and really pursuing their interests is so incredible to me. We've had some chapter leaders who have been with us for over 4 years, who've gone from college to medical school and stayed in touch with SODA and started chapters along the way. So it's just great to really be able to connect one-on-one with these future generations of donation advocates and have so much faith in what they're bringing to the fields of donation and transplantation.
Now, what are some of the events that you've seen that chapters have put on?
Yeah, so I mentioned that we provide event funding and supplies. So I'd say our chapters love to bring in different incentives to excite their peers. Of course, back when I was in college, a free t-shirt went a long way, free food went a long way. So I find that themed events are really popular. One of the most popular events we see is we've coined Donuts for Donors, or Donuts and Donors. And it's where students will bring donuts to campus and distribute them to students who are already registered as donors or who are interested in learning more. We also have another themed event titled Pizza and Perspectives, which is usually when our students will collaborate with their OPO to bring in a local guest speaker who has a personal connection to donation to share their story with their chapter members. And they'll bring pizza and have a Q&A session. And there's actually a local chapter in Gift of Hope service area, SODA at Stevenson High School, who tables at local farmers markets. They participate in different 5K marathons that go around in their community. So it really ranges. And the beauty of student-led advocacy is that our students can be creative with their events, and they know what's best for their peers and their community and what makes the most impact. And we trust them with that. And that's created some really fun themed events that they host.
I found it very interesting when you said t-shirts and free food. I was in radio for most of my life, and that was like our number one go-to when we were out amongst the public and doing remotes and things like that. T-shirts and food. Everybody wants it, it seems like. So that was just awesome to hear that. Now,
Yes.
now I know that we actually connected like a couple months ago, but you seem to be very busy because you had conventions. What was going? Because you were like, it sounded like you were everywhere there for about a month or so.
Yes, last month, September was very busy. Our SODA national team, Nicole and I, she is our program director. We traveled to various conferences to connect with the donation transplantation community. So we were at the Alliance's annual Critical Issues Forum last month, along with AMAT's annual conference, which is the Association for Multicultural Affairs and Transplantation. And then next month, of course, we'll be at Donate Life America's annual conference. We went to UNOS's meeting this year as well. So we're really out there in terms of connecting with the OPO partners we work with and new partners, eye banks, tissue banks. So it's really something special that Nicole and I get to do, is that in-person connection, since both of us work fully remotely. So we love these opportunities to be out in person connecting with SODA's network and meeting new people as well.
Now, also, you were telling me that you have an event coming up, and you said You think I could promote that? And I would love to have you promote anything that's coming up with soda.
Yes, absolutely. So we currently have a campus challenge going on. It is our second year putting together this challenge. It started on August 20th of this year, and it's running until November 17th of 2024 this year. And throughout this challenge, new and existing student advocates on high schools, colleges, and graduate schools are eligible to compete for a $500 cash prize. So we'll be selecting one winning team from each of those school levels to receive that prize, and the team that registers the most new donors will also receive exclusive merchandise from SOTA. And there are various point earning opportunities throughout this challenge, including hosting educational events and registration drives, collaborating with your local organ procurement organization, and spreading awareness about donation on social media. So if any students are interested in learning more about how they can earn points for the challenge and get registered, the registration form and more details can be found at www.sodanational.org/campus-challenge. And for any questions, students can always reach out to students@sodanational.org over email with any questions, concerns, comments. We can always be reached through that email address.
Now, if I'm in college and you're back in college again and you're working with soda and I'm just like walking around the campus going, hey, like, what's up? What are you going to tell me?
Well, I think I'd start out by, I know I mentioned the importance of peer-to-peer advocacy. I think that, again, is really the beauty of what our students do, is that they know how to connect with their peers. And I think that when at that age you see someone feeling so passionately about something and taking such an interest to be a leader on campus, that can spark some really productive conversations. So I think that as a college student or a student in general, just showing how passionate you are for a cause and owning that, like all of our chapter leaders do, is so empowering to other students. And it's so important as well for students to know that they can make an impact and that they do. And as leaders, they can change lives and save lives. So I think just owning what you're passionate about and spearheading conversations as a student is so empowering. And I'd encourage any student to feel comfortable approaching one another to share what they care about and sparking new conversations.
Well, Sophia, I want to thank you so much for coming on with us today, because this sounds like just something that's incredible. And I'm glad to see that students out there, not only in high school, but college, are putting an organization together at their campuses, and they're working on finding, organs throughout the country. And it's truly an awesome, awesome thing. So whoever started this, as you said her name earlier, she has done a fabulous job. Anything else before we let you go? Because I want to give you some time here at the end. If there's anything that, you would like to talk about before we let you go, I'd like to let you do that right now.
Yeah, I'd say I'd love to recognize all of SOTA student leaders. If anyone is listening, it is such an honor to work with you all. And I tell our students every time I meet with them that I'm so proud of the work that they're doing, that they really are leaders in their communities and they're making a difference. So if that sounds like something any students who don't work with SOTA yet are interested in doing and being these leaders on campus, again, I'd really recommend you visit SOTA National's website at sodanational.org, and you can always reach me over email at that students@sodanational.org email address that I mentioned. And thank you so much for the opportunity to join Gift of Life's podcast and share more about SOTA and the Miller and Sarah's story. I really appreciate you having me on today, BJ.
No problem, and I wish you the very best of luck and continued success, and hopefully you get. Obviously, you want SOTA chapters to grow even more across the country, and so I hope that maybe we can give you a little shove in that direction.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It is so great seeing the youth get involved with organ donation, and thank you so much, Sophia Renner, for being a part of our program this week. And make sure you join us next week for another episode of Gift of Life. the Organ Transplant Podcast. If you have a transplant story you'd like to share, reach out to us at giftoflifepodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Gift of Life, the Organ Transplant Podcast. And until next time, I'm BJ Odom. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey and reminding you all to please appreciate each and every day and cherish the extraordinary gift of life.